Welcome. This video will cover total cost of ownership. Many businesses ask, how do you compare on-premises versus cloud implementations? The difference between these two options is how they are deployed. An on-premises infrastructure is installed locally on company-owned servers. A cloud infrastructure is purchased from AWS, who builds and maintains the facilities and hardware with maintenance staff. On a traditional infrastructure, there are several fixed costs, also known as capital expenses. Capital expenses include facilities, hardware, licenses, and maintenance staff. Scaling up can be expensive and time-consuming. Scaling down does not reduce these fixed costs. In a cloud infrastructure, a customer pays for what is used. Scaling up or down is simple. Costs are easy to estimate because they depend on service use. In general, it is difficult to compare a physical implementation with the AWS Cloud. The two are different because they use different concepts and terms. So how can you identify the best option? You can identify the best option by comparing the physical solution to the cloud solution. There is a financial term we need to understand before making an intelligent comparison. The total cost of ownership is a financial estimate that helps a customer determine the direct and indirect costs of a product and systems. TCO, as it is commonly known, includes the cost of service, plus all the costs that are associated with implementing the service. The AWS Total Cost of Ownership Calculator is a tool that you can use to compare and contrast a physical implementation to its equivalent in the AWS Cloud. This comparison is done for budgeting purposes in order to make a case for an optimal deployment solution. Some of the costs that are associated with physical data center implementations include server, storage, network, and finally, the staff that is required to administer the entire solution. When you compare physical solution to a cloud solution, it is important to accurately assess the true costs of both options. With a physical implementation, most costs are upfront. In the cloud, pricing is pay as you go, no upfront payments, and no long-term commitments required. This is an example result from the TCO calculator, which highlights the difference in cost between a physical data center and its AWS Cloud equivalent. This example shows a cost comparison for an on-premises solution and a cloud solution over 3 years. Two similar environments were constructed to represent the physical and virtual AWS environments. Additional direct and indirect costs that are associated with the on-premises solution were not included. The on-premises 3-year total cost is over $160,000. The AWS 3-year total cost is over $7,000, which is a 96% savings rate over the physical solution. What is the difference in costs? Remember, the physical solution includes more categories. It requires an upfront investment in terms of money and time. It continues to incur costs whether the capacity is used or not. In contrast, you provision the AWS solution as needed and decommission the resources when you no longer need them. This results in lower overall costs. The AWS Simple Monthly Calculator is the second pricing tool provided by AWS in order for us to gain transparency of the pricing for our implementation. The AWS Simple Monthly Calculator helps estimate a monthly AWS bill for a proposed cloud solution. You can use it to add, modify, and remove services, and it recalculates the estimated monthly charge automatically. The calculator incorporates pricing for all services in all regions. The Simple Monthly Calculator is a tool that helps you estimate monthly service costs, identify opportunities for cost reduction, and use samples of common deployment models in order to compare service use and their parameters or pricing. To learn about the TCO calculator or the Simple Monthly Calculator, visit the AWS website and search for TCO Calculator or Simple Monthly Calculator. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.